Hey guys, today we're going to give you what you've been asking for, which is a couple shoulder exercises explained thoroughly with the lovely Anya Nicholson IFBB Bikini Pro. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I'm picking these two exercises for you guys to really go into them because I think they're two of the most important exercises for bikini. So when Anya hits that front pose, you're going to see a lot of the front delt on a bikini girl, and you're going to see a lot of the lateral head on that front pose in a bikini girl. So we're going to specialize in those two exercises today with two that I think really target those two areas specifically and dive into them in the way that you should be doing it if you're really concentrating on building those two areas up to improve your bikini competition. Alright guys, so what I'm going to explain to you guys is a line of tension. So one of the things that people don't think about is keeping constant tension on their muscles. So we want to keep maximum time under tension on your muscle while we're trying to develop an area. There's a lot of arguments for different ways. This is how she does it. This is one of the best ways of doing it, especially for bikini where you're not trying to get super big muscles and lift just crazy heavy loads. We're trying to avoid injury, maximize time under tension, and really increase the amount of intention that we have on the muscle. So every time you're doing an exercise, we're trying to really feel the movement, not just throw the weight up. So trying to feel the movement, and you'll see that being common with many bikini pros. So this here, as you can see, she's holding the weight with no difficulty whatsoever. She can hold this weight here all day long. That's because there's no tension. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we're stopping where the tension point stops. So go ahead and lift, go ahead and come down. She's gonna stop right about here, keeping the tension there the whole time. Higher. So as you can see, constant time under tension. She's not releasing, not getting to that point where there's no tension anymore. So it's a constant burning of that muscle. This makes weight way heavier too. So the cool thing is you're gonna avoid injury by not throwing weight up. You're gonna get a lot more time under tension, and you gotta focus on lifting the weights with intentions. Okay, so good tip for you to maximize time under tension on lateral raises. There's a lot of arguments about hand positions on the lateral raise. So one of the things that I like to do is to have the pinky just slightly higher than the rest of the fingers. I feel like this is really the natural form of the shoulder when you're coming up in this lateral position. It's just slightly elevated pinkies, and then down to here, and then slightly elevated pinkies. A lot of times people will say go fully pinkies out, which I think involves more of the rear delt. When you turn it this way, we call this an off-hip lateral raise when you're coming up, and it really focuses on the mid delt, a little bit more on the rear. But some people can't do this. They feel like it just pinches them a little bit. So more natural form is here, slight elevation of the pinkies and back down. So try that if you're having any shoulder issues. Now the cool thing is we use these weights, the J-bells, and because the weight is distributed equally around the hand, we don't really have too many issues in here with that because it's just, you're not running into any gravity issues with one side being lower than another and things like that. Now we're gonna go into the front delt exercise that I really like. Now this is a great front delt exercise. Also involves a little bit of the mid delt. And again, that's what we're trying to target with our bikini. So really focusing on that front and that medial delt for that front pose. Still be work the rear delts, but these are gonna be for the front pose. So this is the Y raise. Now remember what we just talked about, constant time under tension, not losing the tension points. And this is going to be the Y raise, which means that we're going to come up in a kind of a Y position. I always thought it was kind of like a YMCA here. So go ahead and jump into it, Anya. Remember that tension point? She's going to come up, slightly come out. Okay, so this is going to be great for the mid delt, also great for the front delt. Now if she wants to make that more front delt, she can turn her thumbs up a little bit more and go a little bit closer in. And she can even go directly in front of her if she wanted to really work those front delts. So this kind of gives you a range of where you need to target. You can kind of target it how you like. As you can see, she's reaching that tension point where she doesn't go into no tension. No tension would be all the way down like this, where there's nothing here. She can hold it here all day long, but she's stopping just a couple inches before that to keep maximum time under tension here. And go back to the wide lateral. Okay. Again, front and mid, awesome targeting area. Now, she's very stabilized, so she's not getting any wobble, any help from her body to do that. And that exercise will tire you out with light weight. So especially if you're someone that has maybe shoulder injuries and kind of shoulder pings after you work out, this is a great way to lighten the load, keep that tension point, not go through and lift super heavy, crazy weight, and have a sore shoulders the next day. So something that you could definitely learn from with the amount of volume you needed to be doing as a bikini competitor. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about your shoulders. If you have any questions that you want to send in, remember, send me those texts. I answer them every week. Anya will be helping out in those videos too, and teaching you guys how to be the next top bikini pro like she's going to be soon.